Hey friends, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be a homeschool daily routine, I guess you could say. And no, I will go ahead and tell you, we do not stick to this routine every day. Our subjects are in different order. My kids wake up at different times every morning. I would love to say that we can get started with school every single day by 9 o'clock, but some days, or most days, it doesn't happen that way, but it's okay because that's just the freedom of homeschooling. But I start my morning off, I get me a hot cup of hot cocoa. I used to drink coffee, but going through my treatments and stuff, I guess it changed my taste buds. So I had hot cocoa. I will sit in the living room by the fireplace and read my daily devotion. I will go into my Bible and read a little bit also. And then I will say a morning prayer just for the day to go smoothly and just enjoy my quiet time before the kids wake up. Once I get done with my Bible reading, I will go in and wash the dishes, clean up the kitchen, do whatever needs to be done. I would love to say that we go to bed every single night with dishes clean and kitchen completely spotless, but some days and a lot of days it doesn't happen. So it didn't happen last night going to bed, so I got up, and after I finished up my quiet time, I went ahead and got the dishes washed and the kitchen cleaned up and wiped down and just ready to go for the day. This is typically also when my kids start waking up and when they start getting their own breakfast fixed and everything. They're teenagers now, so they like to do their own breakfast and food choices. Now we get into our school day. We start off by saying a family prayer together that the school day and everything goes smoothly and that they learn the wisdom and knowledge they need to learn. Our first thing is our Bible verse lookup, is what I call it. I have a jar full of random scriptures and verses, and we will pick 4 different verses every morning, and they have to look up those verses on their own in their Bibles and read them aloud. They take turns, each doing 2 of them. This kind of just helps them to kind of learn and memorize where each book of the Bible is. And I mean, it's also helping me because I struggle still with the Old Testament sometimes. And I noticed before we started this that whenever we'd be in church and stuff, they would struggle with finding the books of the Bible. So it just gave me an idea of why not practice it every day during homeschool. So it's always the first thing we do in the mornings. Next is our what we call word of the week. I will choose 2 different words every Monday, and I hang them up on this little word of the week sign that I made, and it's usually just 2 words that they don't use very often, they don't really hear very often, but it just helps expand their vocabulary. And we discuss what they mean, and we discuss every day that week what those 2 words mean. Then we move into our scripture copy work. We still had a few days of our Thanksgiving lesson or unit that we didn't do, so we're just going to keep continuing with those. It's just, as you can see, a scripture for every page, and they just copy that scripture in their best handwriting, and it gives them a chance to learn new scriptures while also practicing their handwriting. Now you see we start our daily devotion with the kids, we do a Purpose-Driven Life daily devotion, and we have really enjoyed it. This is actually our second year to do it, not in a row. We did it year before last or the year before that, but we really seem to like this one. Then we swap over into our reading. I pick a book every so often, and we will read one chapter a day. I will read it aloud to them, and we pick out words that they don't know the meaning of, if there are any in each chapter, and that is their vocabulary words for the day. And then they also write a paragraph summary explaining the chapter that I read. We just finished reading the chapter, and we are discussing the only one vocabulary word that we had for this chapter. I'll write it on the board, and they copy it in their notebooks. Now we move on into spelling and grammar. Their spelling is just basic little spelling for 7th and 8th grade workbooks that I got off of Amazon. They do 1 page a day, and on Fridays they usually have a word search with all the spelling words. We don't do tests unless I see that they really need the extra practice and the challenge. Their grammar also is workbooks from Amazon. I went pretty basic this year. We are studying verbs right now, and we will do interactive notebooks where they cut and paste different things and discuss and learn about the different parts of speech and things like that, figurative language and everything. And then we will do 1 to 2 pages in the workbook each day that go along with what we did in the interactive notebooks. This is their spelling up close. They do a page a day. Here we are discussing their grammar work page that they did, going over the answers and seeing which ones they got right or wrong. Now it's time for science. Today we didn't have a whole lot to do, mostly just read aloud to them. We had some quick activities like jumping jacks, things like that to get their hearts flowing, their heartbeats going, and one little workbook page in their student journals. We are studying the human body for this unit. Our last subject for group work is our world history and geography. This week, we are studying Germany. We discussed a landmark in Germany, which is the German castle. And we also talked about different facts, such as the language, the population, the looks and color of the flag, things like that. And we also learned how to speak some German today. After history, we will separate independently and get their math done. It's all online. Then they will 1 or 2 days a week get their musical instruments practiced. And after schoolwork is all done, then we will break out into chores. They will get all their daily chores done so that by about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, everything is completely done and they're free for the rest of the day. But I hope you liked this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and click subscribe so you'll catch our next one.